Hello, everybody. Welcome to TOI Digital, your daily guide to all that's happening in Indian cricket. Beyond the Boundaries, the name of the show. And as always, we've got a Power Pack panel. We've got Arani Basu joining us from Delhi. Gaurav Gupta joins us from Mumbai. And Manuja Veerappa joins us from Bengaluru. Thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. And there's a lot of talk about the Indian fitness test that happened, Indian cricket teams, men's cricket teams fitness test that happened at Bengaluru COE. We've got the person right who was right there when it happened. Manuja, Sahil Malhotra, our colleague, has done a story about how it all turned out to be a bit of a farce. What's your update from ground zero?
Ground zero was we were asked to leave ground. So the Center of Excellence has three grounds. One, two, and three. One and two were hosting the Dilip Trophy quarterfinals, and three was where the fitness tests were happening. The moment Rohit Sharma and co came in, those covering the match at ground two were asked to leave because
Oh,
the fitness test was visible from that ground. Photographers were asked to leave. There were some of the photographers who were taking pictures of players who were coming in and going out. I've never understood the secrecy about a fitness test. It's not how it happened in the past. I've covered at the old NCA a few years back. Say I've covered a lot of fitness tests where at the main Chinnaswamy Stadium ground, say Ishan Sharma is bowling or somebody else, but there was access. It's been a few years that the fitness tests are held behind closed doors, but this was quite surprising when you've traveled. So the COE is about 35-40 kilometers from city center. You go all the way to cover a domestic match, which is virtually closed doors because there are no spectators in, and you're asked to leave the ground because you just have to wait it out till they finish their fitness test, then you're allowed back in. So
so
we
could
got to
you
see
move to
very little
ground?
of it.
So could you move to ground one till the time
So
the ground two was?
yeah. So there were reporters at ground one and ground two. So those at ground two had to move to ground one for the rest of the day. So this happened about an hour and a half into the first session.
So, Arani, so Sahil has done this story about how everything is confidential, and Kohli was asked to pull down the post on Instagram a couple of years ago. And then in the last couple of years, you yourself have done a story about the fact that it's no longer about fitness, it's about injury prevention or injury management. And we heard about this grand Bronco test, but now it turns out, let alone Bronco test, the yo-yo test is also not a guideline to select players.
So let me explain what's happening with Indian cricket, how they judge fitness these days. So these are not fitness tests. What I gather, I've been covering in CM for 10 years and all that. So it is more about fitness assessment. So we have talked about that numbers, what 16.1, 16.2 for yo-yo and everything. But that changes for a player uh, with respect to where he is in a season. So, and these are mostly done without the player knowing, mostly done during an off season when you're not playing for a month or anything. They may be asked to report to the NCF or the now the COE. But what happened was they were always on tour, and the strength and conditioning coaches and the physios will keep up because there are lots of gadgets now to keep a track of tab on their numbers and everything. So let's say if Rohit Sharma has batted 70 overs or Jasprit Bumrah has bowled 40 overs, that yardstick changes in 2 weeks. And in 2 weeks, when that change, they're seeing where they should be at after 2 weeks. If it's below that, then there's a concern, or if they're maintaining that, they're okay with it. So that's how they assess fitness. These are not fitness tests. If you're well below that mark during an off season, then you'll say that you're not up there. So they don't pass or fail cricketers. There have been many cricketers. I would not like to name them, but who have been top guns of Indian cricket who have never passed that yo-yo test, the fitness test. We know. It's not just one. No, there are three, four. So those are the. This is how they assess fitness. So now this whole hype around the Bronco test and everything. The Bronco test happened in 2003, 2004, when Sourav Ganguly was the captain and Adrian Liro was the trainer. So, yo-yo test is more about endurance. Bronco test, you do short sprints. So basically, you're asked to cover 1200 meters in five, now for the Indian team in 5.5 minutes. And you get breathers, 20-second breathers between that. That's up to you how you manage it. And you do sprints. So you're not. So this is more cricket specific, kind of an assessment. These are not tests. So this is how they've created that thing. I think since Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli, they have just got a bit lenient on that front, that we should not be judging the numbers, but we would see where the player is at a certain time of the season. And it's because you're on the road mostly during the all through the year, so they want to cut some slack on the players as well. Yeah.
Gaurav, do you think that this slackening in terms of assessment of fitness since the time Virat and Ravi Shastri left, is has that been a good thing or a bad thing? Because we saw during Rohit and Rahul Dravid's time, there was lesser emphasis to some extent on the scores, because we saw that the likes of Shami and the other players, even Yuvraj Singh, there was a time when uh, he did not really pass with flying colors in terms of the yo-yo test. Is that has that been a good thing or a bad thing for Indian cricket?
I think skills should be paramount. मेरा तो हमेशा से मानना रहा है. If you can run 100 meters as Mr. Gavaskar sir says in 9.9 seconds, but you score a duck and you concede 65 in 3 overs, then there's no point in being extremely fit and being absolutely have a washboard abs and all that. Doesn't make a difference at all. I think it's about cricket fitness that you need to have. I agree, you need to have basic fitness standards in place. And by the way, Bronco test is what I was told. Bronco test is actually a training method. It is a training method which is
It's not a test.
implemented. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not a test per se.
Yeah, it's not a test. It's a training method. और ये ऑस्ट्रेलिया में क्लब्स में इम्प्लीमेंट होता है. वहां पर मैंडेटरी है. Players will have to train according to Bronco this thing, like that. So short sprints होते हैं, कुछ कोन्स लगाते हैं, वैसा कुछ टेक्निकलिटी. मुझे टेस्ट कभी एक पॉइंट के बाद में समझ नहीं आता है. मुझे आज भी याद है when I went to Sri Lanka in 2017 for the test series, Virat Kohli was giving a yo-yo test right in front of me, but मुझे समझा ही नहीं. And I was like, wow, सब लोग ट्रेन करके चले गए, विराट अभी भी भाग रहा है, but he was actually giving a yo-yo test. So थोड़ा सा clarity उस चीज पे नहीं है, but I think over emphasis नहीं होना चाहिए. I think it was fine. I mean, otherwise Ravichandran Ashwin wouldn't have played that 22 World Cup and hit that winning four for us in the against Pakistan. I'm sure he would have struggled if the he Shami guys like them would have really struggled to meet fitness, the topmost fitness parameters. So थोड़ा सा वो I guess थोड़ा relaxation चाहिए. For example, even a Rohit Sharma at his peak, would you compromise his spot in the team for a yo-yo test? I don't think so. I think some kind of flexibility is needed. You need basic guidelines. You need basic fitness standards, which everybody should adhere to. But they should not become a sort of a एक ऐसा regime which actually ends up eating the team. That shouldn't happen. So there has to be a balance in place. I thought that balance was pretty well maintained in the Dravid Rohit Sharma era, and going forward in the GG Shubman Gill era as well. It will be. It has been pretty good to this thing, and I think that's how it will be. But you cannot be. I mean, even Shami failed the yo-yo test. I remember before the 2018 England tour, and that was coupled with his issues, his personal issues, and there was a danger that he may actually his international career may be over, or he may at least miss out on that series. But eventually, we saw Shami did fly to England and he did well. And he's a champion bowler, absolutely. Why would you sort of not take him at this peak? I'm not talking about the Shami of now. If he can't clear yo-yo tests just by a half a second or something like that, or by a second, these are basic fitness standards. I agree, and they have been. I remember MSK Prasad addressing that press conference, the then chief selector in 2017 India's tour of Sri Lanka. So he said that in Pakistan and other countries, those fitness tests have been applicable for a while, and it's time that we also do that. So like that, I think the concern was around Yuvraj Singh and a few other senior players who were struggling to maintain basic fitness standards. So lekin I guess that problem was sorted, and you don't need to get too obsessed. But at the same time, there's a fine balance needed, I think, and that is pretty much I think on visible right now. I mean, Sarfaraz has lost a lot of weight, but has it made a difference? He's still got injured. He's out of reckoning. So like that, I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, when Inzamam lost weight, he couldn't score runs.
absolutely,
So,
2003 World Cup.
yeah, Manuja, it's not like India men's team is the only one which is setting standards. We saw a South Africa women's captain Dan van Niekerk lose her spot, lose her captaincy. She retired in a huff. Now she's come trying to make a comeback. So it's not that only the Indian men's cricket has got these standards. There are other teams, including South Africa women's team, which has got certain standards set for this.
Uh, in terms of women's cricket, again, fitness also should translate into agility, quickness, and all of that. In women's cricket, South Africa, Australia, England, I think Australia in particular, if they are world champions, apart from their skill is always backed by fitness. I won't say the same thing about our Indian team. I think fitness is a concern for us in terms of over a sustained period of time. That's something that's really going to be tested. Fielding. If you look at it over the past few years, of course, the fitness has really improved. But then I think the scales have to be uniform. Like Gaurav was talking about a sustained thing. There has to be a constant parameter of saying, whoever you are, this is the minimum parameter that we are setting. It can't be like, it applies to one player and doesn't apply. Uh, that there is one this thing like Arni. I also won't like to take names. In about 20 years that I've been in and out of NCA, there is one particular Indian player whose fitness test I don't think anybody has seen. There have been times when we've been misled into the timing of the fitness test. They'll say 11:30 he's going to be there at the fitness test. You go there at 10:30 thinking you're going to outsmart, and the guard there will say, "Arey 8 baje aake chale gaye." So there has to be there has to be transparency. I mean, what are you trying to hide by having these closed door sessions? Uh, set a minimum standard and let it be the same for everybody.
I think when you talked about the Australian team, I would want to raise why Virat Kohli suddenly became this obsessed about his team becoming so fit. Was I think one of the interviews that I did after the 2019 World Cup with Virat in his car, he told me that when he traveled to Australia in 2011 and 14, uh, on the last day of the fourth test of the series, Josh Hazelwood, Mitchell Stark, Cummins, Mitchell Johnson were bowling with the same intensity, and his bowlers, the Indian bowlers were gone. They didn't have anything left till the fourth test match, and the batters were even struggling to bat for long periods. And obviously, they were dropping catches and all that. Then he got very obsessed that if I had to have to become the captain of have to captain India, then I might as well have a fit team which can be keyed in all through for every delivery in the series. So I think India has maintained that since. Yes, the assessments and the fitness tests may have gone per se, but they have maintained it. We have seen Siraj bowl at 90 miles per hour on the last day of this series, or in the fifth day on the fifth day of the fifth test. So it's about, I think India don't regress from where they have reached. I think they need to just be there now, not overdo it, because again, cricket is not played for an hour or so. It's played over a period of time. You're playing 5 days on the field. You're playing 50 overs, and you're on the road all through the year. So you have to be a bit careful. I think that's where the mindset changed during Rahul Dravid's era. And, remember when Virat Kohli was captaining, Rahul Dravid was manning the NCA. So Rahul Dravid very well knew what he was supplying, how to feed the system. what the Indian team needed. So I think that happened in tandem, and I think that's where Indian cricket has to be very careful that we don't regress. Okay, we have become a bit lenient, but we need to see that we don't regress from where we are.
But also, Gigi, what is this news about Virat Kohli? Now, Arani is informed that it's not a test, but whatever it is, he did it in London. So we've heard about. We are connected via a particular online platform. So now all these fitness assessments will also happen remotely.
अभी
We have
ये
taken the
ऐसा
hybrid. We have taken hybrid working to a new level now.
या दैट इज ट्रू विराट का जब से इंग्लैंड गए हैं तब से तो ये हो ही रहा है ना मतलब इट हैज स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम लास्ट ईयर इटसेल्फ व्हेन ही मिस्ड द 5 टेस्ट सीरीज अगेंस्ट इंग्लैंड एंड आई आस्क्ड पीपल इन द बीसीसीआई दैट अगर ऐसे होता है तो द हाउ द हेल इज ही गोइंग टू प्ले टेस्ट क्रिकेट फ्रॉम हियर बिकॉज़ इफ ही इज मिसिंग अ 5 टेस्ट सीरीज इन इंग्लैंड सेइंग दैट ही हैज गॉट वर्क इन इंडिया सेइंग दैट ही हैज गॉट वर्क इन इंग्लैंड एंड इवेंचुअली ही डिड क्विट टेस्ट क्रिकेट आई थिंक थोड़ा हो गया था उनका तो आई डोंट नो दिस होल अब अगेन दिस स्टोरी हैज बीन डन बाय अ जर्नलिस्ट हु इज रियली वेरी विराट कोहली उनके फेवरेट प्लेयर है तो I don't know how much truth there is in this story because nobody in the BCCI has confirmed it so far. So to discuss something that has not been confirmed, I don't think is appropriate. But अगर ऐसा अगर लेकिन हुआ है तो definitely it's not done. I think when all the players arrived here. Then unless there's an exceptional reason, all the players arrived at the COE and can give their tests. So Virat should the same yardstick should have applied to Virat. But I don't know. या तो अब पता नहीं मतलब विराट को लेके इतनी ज्यादा स्पेकुलेशन है इज दिस गोइंग टू बी हिज एंड रोहित्स लास्ट सीरीज लास्ट ओडीआई सीरीज आफ्टर दैट क्या दोनों बोथ विल क्विट द गेम ऑल टुगेदर दिस दैट इफ दैट इज द केस देन अगर वो टेस्ट नहीं भी दे रहे मतलब टेस्ट तो पता नहीं है नहीं है जो भी है and if he's not a sort of basic fitness assessment if he's not going through then it's fine yeah I mean if he's going through in England that's fine I mean if it's really is sort of a farewell series it's like asking Sachin Tendulkar to do fitness test before the 2013 West Indies series it doesn't make any sense okay so like that but agar if he really intends to and by all indications he and Rohit are really serious about playing in the 27 World Cup ODI World Cup I think Virat should have been made to report to the NCA in Bengaluru and those tests should have been conducted there I don't think that it's a good idea that certain exception has been made for him कि इंग्लैंड में उनका टेस्ट हो गया unless he has a really really genuine reason so like but again this story is not something that has been confirmed so I would refrain from talking too much about it.
I think that if Virat is going to play the 27 World Cup, a fit case is there for Times of India to send one of you to be based in London to keep track of whatever he's doing. If he's not going to come to India, if he's only going to come for IPL and bilateral series from time to time, somebody has to be in
कल
London to keep track of where he is.
कल उनका फाइनली स्टेटमेंट आया वैसे ऑन द बेंगलुरु जून 4 ट्रेजेडी फाइनली स्टेटमेंट आया उनका कल
हाँ.
आफ्टर व्हाट 4-5 months फाइनली स्टेटमेंट आया उनका ऑन द होल ट्रेजेडी फ्रॉम इंग्लैंड सो
You see,
आई गेस
see how Gaurav has sidestepped that suggestion because he doesn't want to come in the way of the competition that he's having right now for a place in London. Anyways, Manuja, we'll start off with some subscriber questions and comments. Bhavik Aswani has two comments. Virat Kohli passed his fitness test in whether it's in London or COE. It should not be matter of discussion. What matters is whether he's fit or not. Unnecessary issue just for some views. The same Bhavik Aswani says, taking fitness test of Virat Kohli is like asking singing test of Lata Mangeshkar. We all know the result.
Well, Bhavik, you can't. It's a team sport. It is not an individual sport. The same yardstick applies to everyone. The BCCI has spent hundreds of crores on a beautiful 40 acres facility called the BCCI Center of Excellence for a reason. It's there for every cricketer, and if you're an Indian cricketer, which Virat Kohli is, it is your duty to get there.
A contracted
See,
player
even
as well.
a contracted player as well. Like Gaurav said, there's no confirmation whether he's given it there or whether he's done the test in England. If he has done it, I think it's a bad example because on field, I think Virat Kohli has set standards and examples, and this is not an example you expect him to set. Tomorrow, somebody can say, I can't travel to Bangalore. I'll give my test in Mohali. Somebody says I'm holidaying in the US. I'll give my test in the US. There can't be, at the end of the day, it's a team of 11, 15, 20, including reserves. There can't be exceptions made for one person. If you're a team man, play it by the rule book. I know I sound very conservative, but it is what it is.
Okay, Arani, so Arvind Atrias, our regular, has a couple of comments. He says, if Rohit Sharma has passed fitness test, then no test needed for Virat. Good from BCCI. Bronco yo-yo test not required for cricketers. It's not like other sports. And Arvind Atrias also says, if a batsman scores double hundred in a day and has decent running between the wicket, that's all required. Not six packs like models.
So how, yeah, Arvind, just let me put a question to you. How do you know that what is the probability of that batsman scoring a double hundred in a day and running well between the wickets throughout the day? You don't test him when he's on the field, right? So you need to know that when he's taking the field, he's in a position, he's in a shape where he can do that. So that's the whole idea of assessing the fitness. And again, I don't know. Are there any official? Is there any official statement? There have never been official statements about fitness tests and the scores that they have done. So nobody has said that he's passed. Whether it's not a fitness test. Come on, it's fitness assessment. It's been devised. It is customized for every player. Now I'm going to that extent that it is customized for every player where he's standing in a particular season, where how he's fielding, his age, what kind of cricket he's going to play, and everything. If he's not playing Test cricket or T20 cricket, his parameters change. If he's only into 50 overs, and how many matches he's going to play, and how far are those matches from now, all of that comes into play. So I don't think there's a set score as such. If there is some, again, there is bare minimum that Indian cricket goes with. If you compare it with hockey and football, then Indian cricketers should quit playing sports. I can so on a bad day, a hockey player does 21 of yo-yo test. On a bad day, that's what I think. Sardar Singh would run backwards and score 19 in a yo-yo test. So you don't compare that, but you have to have certain level. You cannot have like a Prithvi Shaw who scored some 13, I guess, last year. So that's way below, way below. So you're not there. You should not. What's happening is that you're not setting the right example for other players. Other players will always grudge you, and so that's kind of it disturbs the team environment. If a player is so well or so off the mark and he's not as consistent or as prolific with his skills as well. So it brings the team down with him. So that's how it works. Arvind, I think we get very emotional when we talk about our superstars. Uh, Trust me, Cristiano Ronaldo goes through it. Lionel Messi goes through it day in day out. So nobody questions it, and everything. We are questioning it because if there is no uniformity here, there's a sense of discipline when we are talking about the discipline of our team sport. That's where Indian sports lacks. That's where cricket is the only sport we are excelling because there's not enough competition from those countries or those cultures where team sport is given the utmost priority. That is how you judge a player. So let's not get very emotional about it. Uh, Gaurav has named a few, has named them. Uh, Name them. So yet after that, that player has gone on to score six centuries in ODI World Cup. So people are cutting slack. The BCCI is aware of the significance of the player, but you need to keep a check on it. That you just don't take the team for granted.
Okay, there's a very interesting comment while you were talking. Rahul Ballav says, Arani Basu looks so much like Babul Supriyo today that if he suddenly breaks into a song, people might actually start clapping instead of asking him questions. So at the end of the show, we'll get Arani to sing a song.
So we'll bring the curtains down on the show then.
Okay, Gaurav, a couple of comments from Kamal PK. He says, just read the article on TOI about what happened during these yo-yo tests. Excellent work by journalist. Eye opener. These so-called fitness tests have turned out to be a big-time joke. Shameful. Kamal PK. also says can't wait for these aging superstars to retire from ODIs. They have ruined our cricket culture completely thanks to the PR machinery. Gigi, not you, the other Gigi, did a good job by removing them from Test cricket.
यार थोड़ा रिस्पेक्टफुली बात करो, मतलब बहुत ये जो भी हमारे दोस्त हैं, बहुत बहुत दिया इन लोगों ने इंडियन क्रिकेट को. These both these two gentlemen have been iconic cricketers and they have given a lot to Indian cricket. So to say suddenly that कि इनको अच्छा किया बाहर फेंक के ये वो, I think we should not show disrespect. Yes, they were phased out and they were asked about their future plans. Now everything is out, which was justified, I thought. And they took their time and they got back to the BCCI and decided very wisely to opt out of Test cricket because both were struggling in the last two series, especially Virat outside off stump. जो Monty Panesar ने बोला, he was completely clueless against the balls on the deliveries on the fourth and fifth stump. So I think they gave a lot, but yeah, I mean, perhaps the timing could have been slightly more. I don't think both of them, as I keep repeating myself, should have gone to Australia. वो थोड़ा मिस्टेक हुआ, but I guess the New Zealand series and Australia series में gap बहुत कम था. So there was no option but to quickly sort of report for that series. But nevertheless, late आए, दुरुस्त आए. I mean, I was happy for Pujara also. I thought he took his retirement at the right time. उनका भी दुलीप ट्रॉफी में भी select नहीं हुए. थोड़ा सा stretch किया उन्होंने भी अपना career. Almost 2 years he was out of the Indian team, but then took the call at the right moment, I thought, and decided to bid adieu. And I think Ajinkya Rahane, I'm expecting him also to sort of say goodbye to the game sometime in the near future, or maybe this season, or max to max another season. I don't think, in fact, another season. So like that. So we should show more respect to our iconic cricketers. Their timing could have been better, but then kiska timing sahi hota hai? I mean, great cricketers in Indian cricket, I don't want to name them. We all know have taken their own sweet time in retiring and bidding a goodbye, and ultimately the BCCI had to step in and sort of organize special series and matches for them. So like that. And what was the earlier question? That was also quite
About
impactful, I remember.
yeah, so the thing about these so-called fitness tests have turned out to be a sham and stuff like that.
यार फिटनेस टेस्ट जितना हमारे यहाँ रिपोर्टिंग होती है फिटनेस टेस्ट पे, और जितना हमारा मीडिया फोकस करता है, आई डोंट थिंक एनीवेयर इन द वर्ल्ड पीपल आर बॉदर्ड सो मच अबाउट फिटनेस टेस्ट. फिटनेस टेस्ट ना हो गया, मैच रिपोर्ट हो गया सबका, इसने क्लियर कर दिया, उसने नहीं किया, ये अरे फोकस ऑन द क्रिकेट यार. आई मीन एट द एंड ऑफ द डे कोई ऑलमोस्ट ऑल ऑफ देम विल क्लियर, डोंट वरी. अनलेस आई मीन स्टार पावर अभी भी चलता है, apart from the odd guy, everybody will clear. I mean, this is a fairly young team. यहाँ कोई बेचारा चेतेश्वर पुजारा नहीं है, या कोई ऐसा कोई नहीं है very senior player who perhaps एक दो पॉइंट से रह जाएंगे. तो like that. I mean, these are all youngsters. You expect a Washington Sundar or a KL Rahul or all these guys to not clear tests. I think they'll all Shardul Thakur. They're all pretty much of fitness freaks.
So one of these players whose names you took are thinking about you right now.
ओके. नहीं, आई थिंक फिटनेस टेस्ट को बहुत ज्यादा वैल्यू दे दिया. अभी क्या हो रहा है ना चंद्रेश, लास्ट 1 month देयर हैज बीन नो क्रिकेट, सो वी हैव बीन फोकसिंग ऑन स्लाइटली थिंग्स व्हिच रियली अदरवाइज शुडंट गेन ट्रैक्शन इन द मीडिया. बट कुछ क्रिकेट है ही नहीं, कुछ इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट नहीं खेल रहा है इंडिया. या
December, January also 1 month there is no cricket, so we prepared for part 2 of this.
नहीं, आई थिंक January New Zealand is coming, no, for the
So between December 19th and January 11th there is no cricket.
Are you serious? There's no
Absolutely.
in December.
I have checked the
In December, who's the last
Plan
team
your
to come?
holiday, Gaurav. Plan your holiday.
No,
December,
there'll be Ranji Trophy, Manuja. Don't worry, there'll be Ranji Trophy. There'll be
December 19th is the last match of South Africa, and New Zealand series starts on January 11th. So there is 3 weeks of no cricket.
Okay, oh, that's interesting. अच्छा. फिर आप
No
लोगों से पूछेगा
international
कि
cricket, Chandresh. No international cricket.
No international cricket, but the thing will continue, na?
will there be? I think there'll be these leagues organized also.
No,
Your
there is no.
IL-T20 and
Those will be organized, but what is the interest for India?
SA20, हाँ, वो तो हाँ, I guess players would want a break before the World Cup, T20 World Cup, because IL-T20 and this one also they're organizing it earlier this time, SA20, because they don't want to clash with the this thing, the T20 would keep it too close to the T20 World Cup. I think the international players want it like that. So, I mean, when it resumes, there'll be the New Zealand series, and then we're diving into the World Cup after that, right? After the New Zealand series. Yeah. So, I mean, it will be a time. It will be interesting because I don't know, domestic cricket खेलने का शोर मचेगा, but maybe there will be Mushtaq Ali. I don't know if a few players will be available for that.
Vijay Hazare is timed around that time, 19th from 24th onwards.
Okay, if you're talking about the big two, then अभी तो उनका देखना है कि whether they will mostly they should be turning out for India A, I think, against Australia A. वो जो September 30 से matches शुरू हो रहे हैं in कानपुर. So I guess उधर खेलेंगे वो लोग. Other than that, I don't know. I mean, yeah, that is a खाली phase अभी, but let's expect. I mean, I'm expecting for all you know, अफगानिस्तान के साथ में 3 T20 रख देगा BCCI. तो ऐसा कुछ कर सकते हैं. या श्रीलंका, our favorite team. We can always go there. They can come here, something like that. 3-4 teams, 3-4 ODIs, T20s, ऐसा कुछ. So
Yeah,
let's
let's
see.
give some work to Manuja and COE. Go and cover the match since they can't play at Chinnaswamy.
COE I believe does not. Yeah, COE में तो first time matches हो रहे हैं ना. ये first class grade first time हो रहा है. I think it will
It's a
improve. The
one
facilities
year.
will improve. It's a debut,
Competitive.
first class
Oh,
debut.
facilities, there's
Unfortunately, yeah,
no
competitive. हाँ
dispute.
वही I meant
Yeah,
competitive. Yeah, yeah. First class debut है मतलब उस center का. ठीक
yeah,
है.
yeah.
Unfortunately cover ही नहीं हुआ. मतलब live stream नहीं हुआ. Semi-final भी live stream नहीं है. ठीक है. BCCI बोलता है कि भाई खाली final live stream होगा, which is extremely sad. But that is how it is. बैठने की भी जगह facility नहीं है spectators की और वो सब.
I think
तो
they don't
I
have
think
the infrastructure to broadcast it.
हाँ, but Arani, wait, that is why these are training grounds. I don't know whether you should hold domestic tournaments at these
No, no, no,
venues.
no, no,
If
no.
you,
They
yeah,
have infrastructure. They have a
Uh,
commentary room with all
Okay.
yeah,
set up,
yeah.
very beautifully made commentary
I think
boxes.
it's all about intent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe you can keep some kind of. अभी press box की जो बात करी मनोजा, यहाँ BKC में there's a press box which is open, and all these years a press box has not been constructed. You know, it's an open press box. In the evening, you get all sorts of creatures crawling on you while you're filing your, especially your second copy. So life for a journalist who's covering first class cricket in India has never been easy beyond a point. You know, so वो थोड़ा सा तकलीफ है, but hopefully I think COE things will improve in the coming years.
Yeah. So there are some comments. Manuja, I want your indulgence on that. Karan Tyagi says, आज फिर ये लोग विराट को रिटायरमेंट दिलाने वाले हैं. निमिष जुनेजा says, आज मसाला नहीं मिल गया इनको सुबह वाली रिपोर्ट पे. And Arvind Atreyas has the most interesting comment. He says, KL Rahul has 6 packs. He gets injured all the time.
Okay. The first two comments, I don't think anybody can get anybody to retire, especially not Virat Kohli. Both Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli know the time they want to leave the sport after the yeoman service that they've done for the sport. Anybody speculating, commenting, and none of us have done that. When they retire is up to them. We can say what we want. And we're not saying anything about their retirement right now. Yeah. And KL Rahul, I think one of the, for the kind of talent he has, somehow I feel KL Rahul's fitness, again, we'll get there, is more a gym built fitness rather than an endurance outside built fitness. I remember one Indian coach who once said, you can't build a fit player in the gym. It's work in progress. It happens over a period of time. A lot of things are very natural. For example, I'll just give you a quick example. Rahul Dravid, for example, played some league matches, the KCL league matches a couple of months ago. That's how we saw him in a cast during the IPL. And one of the things that he realized at that point of time was running on the treadmill is not the same as running between the wickets. So you can put kilometers on the treadmill, but it's entirely different when you're on the field. KL Rahul, that way, yeah, I think his fitness has time and again let him down. And for the immensely talented player that he is and the potential he had as a multi-format player, somewhere, yeah, that niggle and that injuries have pegged him back.
Okay, since Arani is here, we have a super chat as always. Ayush Jindal has sent a 40 rupees super chat. Thanks a lot, Ayush Jindal. And this question is addressed to both Arani and to Gigi. Arani da, Gigi sir, any update on LSG coaching staff?
I think, see, the LSG coaching staff is still in work in progress. Just like I had said before, they're looking to get a director of cricket first, and these are not easy decisions. I think the captain will have to be on the same page, and they'll have to have discussions. They'll see who all are available as well. They need someone with Justin Langa. They need to see if they are comfortable with him. just working for 3 months or 4 months a year, because IPL franchises are not just 2 months job now anymore. So you have to have coaches who are available throughout the year to monitor the players, to keep a tab on them, and to keep planning the trading, the options, and everything. Those are very nuanced work that can be done in a month, but you can easily split there. So there is no such update as for who they are zeroing in. If they want to release Zahir Khan at all, they have not made a decision on it. But let me tell you, it will be very difficult to have two bowling experts traveling with the team. So they will be seeing that if Zahir Khan can be promoted to the director of cricket kind of thing, or they want to move on, or if they want to move on from Justin Langer. So they're not talking about one person here. They are talking about two people. So they went into the new cycle with a fresh arrangements, and to disturb it immediately, it won't be easy. So it will take a bit of time. Bharat Arun is there. He's obviously very competent. I think one thing that can be sorted is the pace bowling thing. I think those players who will be under Bharat Arun for the next 2 years will benefit a lot. So that's the only thing I can say.
Okay, Gigi, question for you. Crick.freak says, out of context, but Gigi sir, is Iyer, Sarfraz, Jaiswal playing for West Zone?
Sorry, no, Sarfaraz is not playing for West Zone. He's injured.
What
Sarfaraz
about
को तो
Iyer,
injury हो गया.
Iyer,
Iyer is there,
Jaiswal?
yeah. Iyer is there. I think Manuja has
Yeah.
sort of plays a role this thing around Shreyas is that's what I believe because Shreyas ka performances will be very closely watched. I was told very clearly that if he does well in the Duleep Trophy, definitely considering 4 Test matches in India and Shreyas' ability to play spin, he is in the mix 2000%. So like that, especially if जो इतना हल्ला मचा है जब उसको एशिया कप में 20 में भी नहीं रखा उनको तो देयर इज डेफिनेटली एटलीस्ट दिस थिंग कि कम से कम टेस्ट बिकॉज ये बहुत ऑब्वियस होता जा रहा है दैट people have issues with him and इसलिए वो टीम में नहीं है rather than for lack of performance so like that and I think
Okay,
so focus थोड़ा उनके ऊपर रहेगा सरफराज तो नहीं है he's got a उनको एक quadricep injury हुआ था so like
okay.
that
Manuja, there's a couple of things. One is from Umama Mahida. एक रिपोर्टर ऐसा बोल रहे थे विराट ने 20 सितंबर बाद का बोला था तब मैं आ सकता हूँ बिकॉज वो इंडिया ए भी खेलने वाले हैं बट फिर अभी हो सकता है सबका टेस्ट होना था तो विराट को वही करवाने की परमिशन मिली राहुल बल्लाव एज अ counter view. He says everybody already knows this is going to be Rohit and Virat's last ODI series against Australia. So who cares about the fitness test, even if they show up with samosa in one pocket and jalebis in the other?
Well, sport doesn't work that way. Shouldn't work from and shouldn't work that way. Um uh, Virat, like somebody, I'm not aware of this. It's all sources saying that he said he will come after September 20th. London is just 10 hours from Bangalore. You could have, I mean, if there was a mandate that he had to come, he probably would have come, taken that 10-hour flight, finished his fitness test and gone. You don't even have to brave Bangalore traffic anymore. The CEO is hardly 5 kilometers from the airport. Uh, doesn't matter if it's the first match or the last match. The intent of a player, the fitness levels of the players, I think remains the same. If there is a parameter for you to be in the team, that parameter has to be met. I'll just go back to one this thing that Orni spoke about Sardar Singh. And I remember before the 2016 Olympics, uh, everybody knew that was going to be Sardar's last Olympics. He really was on his last leg. For 1 year, I watched him. He would always be the last player to leave the field. Much after the entire team is left, for at least another hour, Sardar would go on, concentrating on fitness, not about skill. And he always said one thing, मैम मैं बाहर अपने मर्जी से जाना चाहता हूँ माई हिंदी इज बैड पार्डन मी एंड ही सेड कोई मुझे ये बोल के नहीं निकालेंगे कि ये फिट नहीं है आई मीन यू नो Players take their fitness very seriously in any sport, especially when you represent India. So, jalebi, samosa, you can keep whatever you want in your pocket, unless and until it's not anything to like a chewing gum. So, it's very unfair to say, let the who cares about fitness tests, like they're doing fitness assessments now. It's not a question of failing, passing, who's coming, who's going. It is about being there. It's a team sport.
Aruni Arvind Atreyas has a comment. Rishabh Pant with big belly has 800s with 890s. And Bhavik Aswani says, why does NCA not release yo-yo test scores publicly?
I think, like Gaurav said, we shouldn't be discussing. If we are sitting here and discussing fitness of a player who's playing for India, I think the team is in shambles. Then you're not, then you're not talking cricket, and you're not there as a team, as a country. We are not there to play this sport. That's very. I think this should be the last discussion. If the odd player is way off the mark, then it becomes a discussion. If he's still being picked and is not performing, then it becomes a discussion. But just a regular practice that goes on, you get discussing here. It's a shame. I think it's a shame that we have to sit here and discuss fitness of India cricketers who have played the sport for 20 years for India. A couple of them have almost played for 20 years here. So I think we should keep it there, and I don't think you need to give out the scores. These are very people start judging you then. You like I said, the team management knows what they're doing with the players. It's about getting the players in their best shape to perform for the country. It's not about what they're how I have studied for an exam doesn't matter. There have been very good students who studied for 6 hours a day and they were scored 98%, and there have been students who studied all day and have struggled to pass as well. So that's the process. I think let the players and the management focus on the process and trust them for a while. If there's too many discrepancies that cannot be hidden, that should come out in the open. So that's what I'm. But I'm telling you, these are not scores. There's not. These are not board exams that they have to score 33% marks and they only then they. So I don't think a 34% student is equal to a person who scored 100 as well. So that's how you have to see this at this moment. There are different parameters for each. Again repeating, these are customized assessments for each player. Pace bowler will be different, a batsman will be different, everything will be different. So it doesn't matter. The BCCI is not obligated to release those unless these are trials, and then you file an RTI. This is a massive trial, and you're filing an RTI that my selection was up against this player and he did not score. So these are not
Unless
criteria.
unless it is
Unless,
Patiala House, the movie where Akshay Kumar's character gets selected in the English team by bowling six
uh,
balls.
yeah, so I don't think that happens. So these are okay. These are good talking points, but this shouldn't be at this
Okay,
moment.
absolute final question. This is from Kuldeep Sharon. He says, hope Ajit Agarkar, and this for Gigi, hope Ajit Agarkar and BCCI will give the same treatment to Virat and remove him from contract just like they did with Shreyas and Ishan. He is also not serious, looks like. Anyways, only 27 days left in this particular contract. So he'll go out anyways if he has to.
Yeah, Virat Kohli will never be treated on the at par with Shreyas Iyer and Ishant Sharma. I have some respect for the guy. इतने 100 मारे उन्होंने इतना परफॉर्म किया है कंट्री के लिए at least before COVID his numbers were mind boggling. So as I said earlier, these guys are iconic cricketers. Virat has been your best batsman since Sachin Tendulkar. So you cannot just rubbish him on any account saying कि वो ये. I agree. I mean, as has been saying that he should have come to the COE and given these tests and all that. But I don't know what is the background of this whole thing and whether it is true or so or not. We're just saying this based on somebody's story. तो अगर ये हुआ है तो डेफिनेटली थोड़ा सा अनफॉर्चुनेट है बट अदर देन दैट आई डोंट नो एंड एज आई सेड आई डोंट नो वेदर आई मीन टुमारो who imagined that this will be Virat's last test series the Australia one and he will announce his retirement before the England series. It came as a complete shocker. So who knows that a similar announcement would come before the Australia series. हम expect कर रहे हो World Cup खेलेंगे ये वो, but both of them gave a joint statement saying that रोको बहुत हो गया and we would like to end our journey. So we don't know right now. So to just go after them and we go after Virat and sort of pull him down for not at coming down for the test and all, I will still hold my guns back. I think he's almost like playing one format, but yeah, he should be serious if at all he really wants is focused about 27 World Cup. If not, and he's just sort of looking for to play one or two series, odd series, and then just go away from the scene, then it's fine with me.
Okay, we have to ask this question to Manuja, and this has come from Bhavi Gaswani. I'm sorry, this is absolute last question. Manuja, ma'am, any update about RCB's new home ground and RCB trade news for next season? Because we've heard about every other team except RCB.
If you hear something, do let me know, Bhavik. Uh, so you don't even know.
RCB cares to it.
Yeah, RCB cares, but currently, I think they're slowly easing themselves back into the system. I think they put out about 4-5 posts till today. 4 posts expressing regret. There's a Virat post. There's a Rajat Patidar post. The compensation. They still haven't apologized to the people. I think the focus will continue to be on what happens. Uh, about the new home ground, yes, it looks very unlikely that Chinnaswamy Stadium will host the next season IPL matches. There have been a lot of talks on a new home ground, and will be RCB Bengaluru be replaced with another alphabet? But as of now, it's very fluid. There has been no. They have eased themselves back into cricket quite in the background. The scouts have started going for leagues. I think the Delhi Premier League, the Maharaja Trophy. But as of now, I don't think they're coming out much.
Okay, on that note, thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. Manuja, Arani, Gigi, for your presence today on the show. And also to everyone watching us, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment on all our videos and be part of the conversation. We like your participation. That's it for today. And to the backend team, thanks a lot. We'll see you tomorrow. Till then, take very good care of yourselves. It's goodbye and God bless.